Hey, this is Ben King. Let's begin by tapping into one of the senses. Light and shadow for me again this morning is really interesting. To the southeast of me, the sun is rising. Directly to my right are very tall evergreen trees. And the sun is working with the trees and creating these long shadows on the parking lot before me. 8 trees, absolutely still. I'm going to come into my ground. I'm sitting cross-legged, so my ground includes outside edges of my feet, ankles, outside edges of my shins, side of my shin. The insides of my feet are pressing up against the outside edges of my legs. My buttocks are grounded. With my pelvis, I kind of shift around, tucking and untucking, shifting left and right, finding what I like right now, just in this moment. Core. Noticing the fabric of clothing at the core, trying to kind of cycle through some sensations at the core, find what makes sense right now. Heart space. Part of the reason why you have a mudra is a hand placement. Lots of mudras mean lots of things, but really it gives you something to do with your hands. So I like the thumb and the forefinger connection, and I like resting my hands on my knees. What's nice about it is I can relax my elbows, and what happens for me is sensation in the shoulder blade. I can soften it a little bit, which helps me into my throat, top of my head. Remember, if you have thoughts, think of thoughts as just another sensation, one in which you can shift your sensation from feet, pelvis, core, heart space, throat, top of the head, and then choose. I'm going to choose to go into breath, finishing out with the breath. Full breath in. What does it feel like to have full breath in? Full breath out. What does it feel like to have full breath out? Now let's look a little bit more precisely. Full breath in. Notice the top of full breath in. Try to add more air. Notice how you come to a limit. Then you kind of keep fiddling around at the edge, but if you keep trying to breathe in, eventually you just can't. Keep trying to breathe in. Notice the edge. Where do you feel it? The pressure. You can't go a certain way further. You have to exhale. Then your body says you have to exhale. Notice sensation of impulse telling you what to do. Then do it. Exhale slow. Feel how the body just releases it. You don't have to do anything. It's just happening for you. You can watch it. You can listen to the birds and watch your body exhale all at the same time. Now come to the bottom. It's a different experience down here. Exhale. Keep trying to exhale. Notice what happens in your body. Compression. Compression. Now, notice impulse to breathe in. Body is telling you more forcefully. Breathe out. Oh, feel the compression. Then notice expansion out. Time spent in presence. Time spent in presence. The biological implications of time spent in presence is unbelievably big. Unbelievable. Pick a scientist. Pick one. Dr. Herbert Benson. That guy figured out first that we have something in our body called the relaxation response. It's complementary to fight or flight. Fight or flight, we've known about that. The relaxation response, we didn't know about that till more recently. Now, we knew about it, we just didn't have the scientific language for it. You experience it all the time. All the time. Every time you exhale, as a matter of fact, you experience the relaxation response. Now, if you emphasize the relaxation response in a similar way that you can emphasize the hypervigilance, emphasize the no pain, no gain, emphasize the fight or flight. Now let's add another one. Fight, or freeze. Let's be more accurate. Fight, rage, flight, fear, freeze, fear. See that? Now the relaxation response is the other side. Stillness, softness, patience. The ideas of the relaxation response, kind of like a way of life, is loving kindness, compassion, connectivity, relationship, tact, relaxation response. It's just different parts of a spectrum, no better or worse. Just different parts of the spectrum. Oh, yeah, back to the biology. The biology of the relaxation response. Benson talked about it all the way down to the genes, the telomeres, which is the length of your genetic code. So there you have a genetic code. It's like a spiral, and the code is connected by what we currently call telomeres. And those telomeres, apparently, according to the science of the past, get longer and shorter based on the environment. It's more the environment of your internal being. So if your internal being is full of compression, those telomeres shorten, and apparently that represents what you look like on the outside. And then if you have more relaxation response, those telomeres stay more or less the same, or actually even lengthen. And that is reflected in your physical presentation, how your being reflects light, how you present your being to the rest of the world. Apparently, according to this science, now you probably find other science elsewhere that says other things, but according to this guy, Dr. Herbert Benson, who has credibility, how often you are in non-judgmental present tense awareness will have a role in how you look. Take that as you will. All right, now, on to the art of peace. Today's the 4th day. Now check out what he says on the 4th day. O Sensei comes out with a motherfucking doozy. Goes right at it. Knife hand bitches. Knife hand motherfuckers. Listen to this shit. The art of peace is medicine for a sick fucking world. Fucking sick ass world. Cutting heads off motherfuckers. Shooting them in the face. Laughing about it. Putting pictures of dead bodies on Facebook and being like, die slow, motherfucker. Get that. The art of peace is medicine for a sick world. There is evil and disorder in the world because people have forgotten that all things emanate from one fucking source. Return to that goddamn source and leave behind all the self-centered bullshit, petty desires, and anger. Those who are possessed by nothing possess everything. Oof. Knife edge. Hard. I tell you, it's interesting. This morning I woke up and the thought in my head was, hard can be soft, soft can be hard. Hard can be soft, soft can be hard. Strong can be weak, weak can be strong. They make martial arts movies about that shit. It's called the yin and the yang. This is not a new idea. I am not being profound in any way, shape, or form. This is about as basic as it fucking gets. Oh, Sensei saying you get stuck on either one of those sides, you're fucked. If you're possessed by one of those sides, you're fucked. You are fucked. You are fucked. You're being dragged along by ego, by your identity to whatever temporary shit is going on. He's saying you are fucked. And then he's saying on the other side, If you're not possessed by any of these things and you're choosing to be love, you're choosing to be patience, you're choosing to be smooth interaction, it's heaven on earth. Heaven on earth. All right, you ready to get into the experience of this? Check this out. Breathe in deep. Exhale deep. Now answer this question. Answer this question. You ready? Answer this question. Answer this question. What's better, the inhale or the exhale? What's better, inhale or the exhale? Neither. Neither. Part of the same process. One extreme. Neither's better. Each has their qualities. Each has their uses. Now check out this part. What happens in between the inhale and the exhale? What happens? What happens? What happens? What happens? What happens? Art of peace is medicine for a sick world. There is evil and disorder in this world because people have forgotten that all things emanate from one source. Return to that source and leave behind all self-centered thoughts, petty desires, and angers. Those who are possessed by nothing possess everything. That's a big one. King, out.